The camera pans slowly, capturing the intricate details of the ancient Kiyomizu Temple in Kyoto, Japan. The wooden structure stands tall against the backdrop of lush greenery, its sloping roof adorned with intricate carvings and colorful tiles. Visitors mill about, their voices hushed in reverence as they explore the temple grounds. The camera zooms in on the main hall, its massive pillars supporting the weight of the centuries-old building. A group of tourists gathers around a guide, listening intently as he recounts the history of the temple. The soft sound of a bell rings out, signaling the start of a traditional ceremony. Inside the temple, the camera captures the flickering light of candles and the scent of incense that hangs heavy in the air. Monks in flowing robes move gracefully through the space, their voices raised in prayer. The camera lingers on the intricate altar, where offerings of fruit and flowers are laid out in tribute to the gods. Outside, the camera follows a winding path that leads to a wooden platform jutting out over the hillside. From this vantage point, visitors can take in panoramic views of Kyoto below. The camera captures the beauty of the city, its ancient temples and modern skyscrapers blending seamlessly together. As the sun begins to set, the camera captures the temple bathed in the golden light of dusk. Lanterns are lit, casting a warm glow over the grounds. Visitors pause to take photos, their faces illuminated by the soft light. The camera pulls back, capturing the temple in its entirety. A sense of peace and tranquility washes over the scene, a reminder of the timeless beauty and spiritual significance of Kiyomizu Temple. The video fades to black, leaving viewers with a sense of awe and wonder at the majesty of this ancient place. Situated in the eastern Higashiyama area, Kiyomizu-dera is one of the most famous and celebrated temples in Kyoto. The temple was founded in 778 AD and contains buildings from the 17th century, including a main hall designated as a national treasure. The temple's wooden stage is undoubtedly what the temple is most famous for, offering an outstanding panoramic view of Kyoto rising out of a sea of maples. Drink the sacred water filled with good karma at the Otowa no Taki waterfall, wish for a loving relationship at the Jishu Shrine, venture into the womb of the Bodhisattva tunnel, and admire the numerous examples of beautiful architecture. There are countless ways you can enjoy Kiyomizu-dera. Kiyomizu-dera Temple is currently undergoing renovations on the main hall and stage area, but visitors are still permitted to enter the hall. Construction is expected to be completed in spring 2021. Photos displayed on this page were taken in 2014. The Kiyomizu-dera's most famous aspect is its wooden stage complex, made of 168 pillars. This structure was built using a rather special method: 12-meter haikyaki, Japanese zelkova, pillars made from thick, centuries-old trees, and a floor made of 410 cypress boards was assembled and installed without using a single nail, instead relying on locking wooden joints. The stage is popular with tourists all year round, offering a beautiful view no matter the season. The main hall of the Kiyomizu-dera Temple complex houses small statues of the 11-faced and 1,000-armed incarnation of the Buddhist divinity Kannon, and is connected to the butai, which was created as a stage for dedications and offerings. The Japanese expression, "to jump off the stage at Kiyomizu," is used in the same way we would say, "take the plunge" in English. The 3-story pagoda at Kiyomizu-dera is one of the tallest of its kind in Japan, standing at 31 meters high. The current structure dates from a reconstruction carried out in 1633, when its original red coloring was also restored. Though you can see traditional Onigawara tiles with demonic faces on them when looking at the roof, on the southeastern corner you can see a dragon regarded as a god of water that protects the structure against fire. The temple's colorful bell tower was constructed in 1596. If you look closer, you can see beautiful chrysanthemum flowers carved above the fly brace of the tower. The bell tower was restored in 1999 when the beautiful vermilion color was enhanced. Though in the past these sorts of bells were used to direct the monks during the day, now it's most famously rung on New Year's Eve, when the bell is rung 108 times to symbolize the 108 earthly desires Buddhism acknowledges must be overcome. This temple was named for the pure water that flows from the Otowa-no-Taki waterfall, with Kiyomizu from the temple's name translating to pure water. It is said that this water possesses the power to extend one's life and fulfill one's wishes, and you can take a long-handled ladle and drink from one of the channels yourself. This temple was named for the pure water that flows from the Otowa-no-Taki waterfall, with Kiyomizu from the temple's name translating to pure water. It is said that this water possesses the power to extend one's life and fulfill one's wishes, and you can take a long-handled ladle and drink from one of the channels yourself. Tainai Meguri. Before you enter the main temple, you will come across a hall called the Zuigadu, which houses the Tainai Meguri. Without giving away too much, this is one of those interesting, only in Japan experiences. If you're interested, pay the 100 yen admission fee and walk down the stairs into the pitch-black tunnel. Going into the darkness, in fact, symbolizes walking into the womb of a female bodhisattva, and coming out of it back into the light symbolizes being reborn again. If you're not afraid of the dark, this is something that most tourists overlook that you really should try. The Sanenzaka shopping street is steep, but it's definitely worth the walk for a shopper. It's the perfect place to buy gifts for your family and friends, and for yourself as well, of course. It has a very vibrant atmosphere with both sides of the street lined with shops selling sweets, handicrafts, interesting foods such as black sesame ice cream, and Kiyomizu area's finest pottery, called Kiyomizuyaki. Sanenzaka is also a food sampler's heaven, with many shops handing out free samples in front of their stores. Kiyomizu-dera Temple and the shops here have a mutual beneficial relationship, with the shop owners volunteering their time and making donations to the temple that brings them so many customers. Located outside the entrance gate of Kiyomizu-dera sits a Jizo, Kshidagarba, statue. At first glance, he looks like an ordinary stone figure, but this statue is a special one that is said to grant your wishes. So, how does it work? After making an offering, you'll need to make your wish. Once you've done that, turn the Jizo's head 360 degrees. It is said that if you make a wish regarding a love interest and turn his head towards the direction that person lives, it will bring you good luck. Not just magical, the Jizo is also very fashionable and wears many different coordinated outfits throughout the year. What will he be wearing when you visit him? Kiyomizu-dera is one of a few temples that offers yearly light-up events, usually coinciding with the Higashiyama Hanaturo event, cherry blossom season, autumn, and other special occasions. During these periods, you can enter the temple after dark to enjoy the trees and buildings of the temple expertly lit up to showcase their beauty, or use the opportunity to squeeze in a bit more sightseeing, since temples and shrines usually close before dark. Check the events section for dates. Founded in 778 in the early Heian period by the sacred Otowa waterfall before Kyoto became the capital city, the temple was originally affiliated with the Hasso sect of Buddhism and considered a branch temple of Kofukuji in Nara. The Hasso sect is one of the longest surviving sects in Japan that flourished when Nara was the capital of the nation, and it survives in Japan today despite dying out in China and Korea. The temple's founding abbot was the esoteric monk In-shin, known earlier in life as Kenshin, who in 778 dreamed that a divinity instructed him to make his way up the Kazugawa River to find a fountain of purest water. He arrived at a waterfall at the foot of Mt. Otowa, where he met a Buddhist ascetic named Seiryu-e Koji. The hermit gave him a piece of sacred wood, out of which In-shin carved a statue of Kannon Bodhisattva before enshrining it in Seiryu-e Koji's simple hut. A few years later, the famous General Sakanu no Tamuramuro, 758 to 811, headed into the Higashiyama Mountains to hunt deer in order to pray for his sick wife's recovery. After killing a deer, he met in Chin, receiving a lecture from the monk about the sanctity of all life and the mercy of the compassionate Kannon. So moved and filled with guilt for killing the deer, Tamuramuro became a devoted follower of Kannon and thereafter raised a hall to keep the statue within. This hall is what would grow to become Kiyomizu-dera. Over the centuries, the temple buildings were lost to fire multiple times, and the current complex consists primarily of reconstructions carried out from 1631 to 1633 by order of the third Tokugawa shogun, Iemitsu. In 1965, Kiyomizu-dera parted ways with the mainstream Hasso sect under the leadership of Onishi Ryokuei, who established independence from Kofukuji and founded the independent Kita Hasso, North Hasso, sect. In 1994, Kiyomizu-dera was officially declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site as part of the historic monuments of ancient Kyoto, Uji, and Otsu cities. Kiyomizu-dera Temple. The expression, to jump off the stage at Kiyomizu, is the Japanese equivalent of the English expression, to take the plunge. Kiyomizu-dera Temple is perhaps the most popular of the temples in Kyoto and is a fixture in the minds of the Japanese people. The temple's veranda juts out of the side of a mountain supported by 13-meter-high wooden columns. The main hall with its distinctive hip-shaped roof of cypress bark rests to the rear of the veranda and houses within it a priceless statue of Kannon Bodhisattva, the goddess of mercy. From the veranda, one can appreciate fine views facing west over the city of Kyoto. This is an auspicious place to watch the sunset, which may also explain the romantic associations accorded to the temple. Several other buildings designated as national treasures, the grounds, as do waterfalls and landmarks, which have entered popular lore. Thus people come to the temple to drink water from the falls by collecting it in tin cups. The water is said to have therapeutic properties, and drinking from the 3 different streams is said to confer health, longevity, and success in studies. There is also a shrine, Jishujinja shrine on the grounds, and praying there is said to help one succeed in finding an appropriate love match. People desirous of a romantic partner can be seen walking between 2 prominent stones with their eyes closed. If one can make the journey alone, this is taken as a sign that the pilgrim will find love. Those who need assistance in making the crossing will require an intermediary to help them find their mate. The temple is very popular with visitors and has something of a festival atmosphere. Vendors abound who sell talismans, incense, and omakuji, paper fortunes. Serious pilgrims come to pray, young people come looking for good fortune and love, visitors come to see the sights, and all fall under the spell of Kyoto's timeless temple. Thanks for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned and for more videos.